Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. This is season 7, episode number 17. Andy, tonight's the sports edition. How are you?
Yes, good. All ready for March Madness to dive in here.
Well, it's March 2nd, 2026. March Madness is in full swing. We've got lots of basketball, girls and boys basketball, hockey, wrestling. College wrestling kicks off this weekend with the conference matches.
But before we do anything else,
Let's start with the trivia question.
before that even, I got something before that even.
Yes.
Special shout out to my very happy birthday to my much older brother today.
Yes, happy B-Day.
He's even older than I am now by even another year.
Okay, wow. Yes. Happy B-Day. We're going to jump in, and maybe he'll know this when he's listening, this trivia question. It relates to NBA basketball on this day.
Okay.
On this date, what took place in NBA basketball? I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Something, a wild event. But we'll get to the answer at the end of the episode with the answer for today's trivia question.
All right, here we go. Got a couple things here we'll fire off with. They made the announcement. Here's the town ball games Channel 9 is going to cover this year. Farming, Loretto, and Sleepy Eye in June. And July, Hinckley. Our friends in Brownton and River Falls, Wisconsin. Getting the Cheddars involved there.
Yeah, and I think I know why. It's close, it's obviously, but they have that really nice field with artificial turf, and I'm guessing they're going to host it there.
Yes.
And so a lot of these town ball, and I may be wrong, but the whole purpose of doing the town ball tourneys was to go to these small, dinky towns with small, dinky fields where the community surrounds itself and, plays for the love of the game, a little baseball. This is a modern, like a minor league field. So I think it'll still draw well, but it's a really cool field, but it doesn't have the feeling, the atmosphere, or the aura as these other ones do. I'm looking forward to maybe heading down to Sleepy Eye, but Brownton will be there. Are we going to be at Brownton, Andy?
If I'm home, yes.
Yeah, we'll double check the dates, but we'll put them on our Sports and Songs calendar as well if we're going to hit any of these. But these are always good to go to. We cover these at least once every year.
You know why they got the artificial turf in Wisconsin there?
Why?
It's to keep the girl from grazing in the outfield grass during the game.
Wisconsin joke, Packers joke. Yes.
Boys hockey tournaments, here we go. AA. Tonka the 1 seed against those pesky Gentry Academy, who was an A champion a few years ago. Now they're AA. So Tonka's got their work cut out for them there. Go down to the bottom half. Moorhead Edina, possible second round matchup. That should be very exciting. Very, very exciting there. A. Got Hibbing as the 1 seed. Montemita up there for Delano at the number 3 seed. There, War Road, or 2 and War Road at 3. So that should be exciting there. Possible War Road Delano. These games are all down at the G spot. All right. Here's what I want to talk about. All right. There's some scuttlebutt going on here. Miami of Ohio is 29-0. And some teams are saying they're even a bubble team. If they don't win their conference and go totally undefeated and win their tournament, if they don't win the tournament, some people are saying they shouldn't be in. Weak schedule, You and I have always said undefeated's undefeated. I don't care who you play or how much you beat them by. Undefeated's undefeated. Bruce Pearl on the 29-0 Miami. If you're selecting the 20 or the 68 best teams, that Miami is going to have to win their tournament to qualify as a champion. Because as an at-large, they're not one of the best teams in the country. So he said that, and other people are getting all feisty. And tonight, the coach from Miami Ohio fired back. You are flat out wrong, coach. He says, when you say we would finish last in the Big East, the disrespect is awful, and you should not be near a TV studio covering this sport when you show your true colors. Even slipped in a we when talking about Auburn. Nice work. Shots have been fired. Now, like we said before, undefeated is undefeated. I've talked to some friends of mine about this today. If they don't win their conference tournament, should they still make it in? And a lot of people kind of go, it'd be real unprecedented if they did, because all the big name schools get their first shot, which is really bothering me about college basketball lately. But the one thing we did agree on, we're talking about this, and this is another part that bothers me. This is why I like watching the small conference tournaments, because these guys know when they get to the big dance, they're one and done. So they really, not that they don't put their heart out all the time, but they really put their blood, sweat, and tears in their conference tournament.
Yep.
You'll win your conference tournament, and you'll be playing in the play-in game, or you'll be a 16 seed. I think that's crap. You win your conference tournament, all those conference champions are the first 18, whatever, however conferences they are, so there's 18. You're the first 18 seeds. You won your conference tournament. Done. That's the way it should be. It's kind of like, hey, you're only 7-9 in football, but you won your division. You get a home game. You get that first round bye. So winning your conference tournament should mean something in the college basketball tournament.
Correct.
That's all laid out in my letter I sent off to the NCAA, but
nice.
The restraining order might be put back in there. I don't know if I might not be here next week. So, all right. Oklahoma State and Iowa duel, ESPN's most watched regular season wrestling event ever, just under 500,000 viewers, 494. To watch college wrestling. That's how big some of these schools are. This is a sport to keep your eye on.
Yeah, and we've talked about it in the past with these schools that don't have professional sports,
right?
These states that don't.
Yeah,
it's their minor league baseball system. Games are huge. The college D1 sports are huge. Look at
college
this.
Football, college basketball, they're wrestling. Yep.
This is a wrestling duel. Oh my God.
Okay, awesome. Look at that stadium right there. That picture is packed. Now, you and I both, you more than me, the amateur wrestling fan. This is one sport where it's kind of like, in a way, I don't know, pro wrestling or hockey even, or not hockey, boxing. Really, you said so far back, I don't see why, me personally, why bother? If I'm not down on that first floor where you can really see, unless you're just there for the atmosphere, which shows you how good the atmosphere is for college wrestling, you're still going to sit back and row section 3 and watch this.
Yeah.
That shows you how popular and good it is. Because even if you're main floor way back, it's still hard to see. But, God bless these kids who put on such a great show. They had almost 500,000 people watching. So,
yeah, that's a great shot there too. Just the picture alone, it's tough to see in those upper decks, but boy, that's something else right there.
Because you kind of see how big the basketball court would be, and how big the wrestling mat takes up on that. So yeah, very exciting. Else. All right, St. Louis Cardinals are trying something.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Introducing a ticket package for $29. Includes a bottomless soda, hot dogs, chicken tenders, bratwurst, nachos, fries, popcorn, peanuts, chips, and ice cream. Now I'll translate that to you in Minnesota, Wisconsin talk. Bottomless pop, some hot dogs, chicken tenders, some sausage, nachos, fries, popcorn, peanuts, chips, and ice cream. And to translate some of those words there for you. Now, is that a good deal? Sure. Do ticket sales suck if you have to do this? Yes. Now, it's $29 for a ticket, you get all this. They probably charge you $50 for parking, but And that's where I think you get the deal right off the bat. Don't give me the discounted ticket price or the half off food. Lop off the parking price. Don't hit me so hard before I walk in the door.
Yep.
That's me. Now, granted, the stadium doesn't own the parking lots, blah, blah, blah. But maybe you try to cut a deal with some of these guys going, hey, folks, let's not bend them over before they walk in the door here. Let's have the team buy some of the parking spots, pay for half of the spots or something like that. So instead of $50 for parking, it's $25, or instead of $20, it's $10. Throw the fans a deal that way.
Yep.
Interesting. Freddie might sign a 4-year, $112 million contract coming up. So Mets, I think this is one of those things. It's a pitcher right now for the Mets or a lot of teams. They didn't want to spend the big money on free agency, give him a little 1-year deal, get him in the door, 2-year deal, and make sure he doesn't blow his arm out in the first week of spring training. I hate to say it, but how many times has that happened?
Yeah, it's
Jacob DeGrom, goes out there and blows his elbow right away. So let's just get him in first. We get all the little insurances signed in the contracts and this and that. And Ron Darling had this to say about Kenda, and I even kind of said this a little bit last year. The Mets have always had him on a 6-day rotation where he always pitched Saturdays because that's what he's used to in Japan.
Okay.
Ron Darling has said that, let's cut the baby strings off, cut the cord. He goes, we will do a regular 5-man rotation. No more special for him. He wants to play big leagues, get big league money. You pitch in a 5-man rotation now. You've had a long enough time to adjust your health, your
regimen or whatever,
to get into it. You can do a 5-man. You're pro making this money, earn it. And my word, that Ron Darling was a handsome man when he was younger.
It's a great shot.
And the Mets put this up on the What Mets Believers site, kind of like what you have at your Twin sites.
Yes.
All the guys marked on who's injured and who's playing WBC. As you see, they list Lindor is injured, which he is, which is kind of we still haven't heard how long he's going to be out for, so a little concerned about that. A lot of the outfielders for the Mets you see playing World Baseball Classic, which I kind of enjoy because you see some other guys when we get time up there playing, so I like that. It's one advantage I like about the World Baseball Classic. Get some of these other guys some time in. So that should work out pretty good. 7 catchers, none of them in the World Baseball Classic are injured, so that'll be fun. And they see the outfielders there. There's a guy, A.J. Ewing, left-handed stick. They got him projected to come up next year. He's their number 3 guy in the prospects.
Okay.
I see the dash after the time they've already been up once and maybe start the year this year. I think Ewing might be up before next year. And I say that under this pretense, and I try not to jinx the team or anything else. If they're out of it or they need to make a trade to get somebody, either Ewing gets called up or he's part of that trade.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If they're hey, we're buyers at the line, he's going to be involved somehow, either with a trade some other outfielders, so he's getting called up, or he's going to be one of the guys in that trade.
He'll be in the mix, yeah, I'm sure.
He'll be in the mix. Somehow he'll be involved. It will affect him. The Twins, Mr. Bradley's opted out of the World Baseball Classic to stay with the team. I don't know how to read into this. With all the pitching injuries we have had, did someone in the front office get in his ear going, dude, can you at least be one consistent we have for our opening day roster here?
Here's what I know about Taj. I covered it on the bonus today. I didn't let you know, but they picked him up. They got him on the trade last year from I'm not sure which team, but his ERA was average, and he wasn't doing that good. But he's formerly a very top prospect. The Twins went and got him on that part of the deal. With the plan, from what I heard, the plan is to rework his delivery, his mechanics, or his arm slot or something. They didn't like where he was at. They got him on that deal. Very good pitcher, but they noticed that they could make an improvement. So I think they're working in the offseason with that improvement and this spring training, and they want to keep him focused on that piece. So I think that's why he declined it. I don't think it had anything to do with anything else, but they want to keep him working because he could be breaking camp with the big league team. And this guy could be good, but he's got to work on that. Either the mechanic, his delivery, something has changed. The Twins pitching manager coach is tweaking something. And I brought that up on the bonus episode today. That's the deal with Taj. And I think that's what they could have just come out and said that instead of letting everyone guess. But I believe that's, in my book, that's what I would bet is the deal. They don't want to have him.
Yeah, because it says here originally he was decision Sunday, citing importance of working with the new staff, catchers, etc.
And maybe that's what they meant.
They're
Yeah.
really saying learn our system. Don't go down there with the World Baseball Classic, learn somebody else's. However you want to word it. Again, like I said, was it we need one of our starters to be here for all spring training with our own team,
Yeah, that's interesting. But that's my take on that when I did the episode today, and it may be right or it may be wrong, but that's just what I offered.
All right. This was coming up on ESPN needs to help with college baseball. They had non-conference number 4 Mississippi State against number 1 UCLA. It's Sunday primetime 3:30 slot. The only way to catch this game on TV was on Flow Sports, and you had to pay $20 to watch it. A preseason game that was potential College World Series matchups, couldn't find it. College baseball, as annoying as that little tank with the aluminum bat is, you get some of these good teams playing, man, you want to watch them. I mean, yes, you may not hear the name for a couple, 3 years as a senior for their pros, but you want to watch a good ball game. I want to watch a good ball game. I don't care if it's number 4 against number 1 in college, if it's a town ball game, number 1 against number 2, some crappy minor league teams. I don't care. Baseball's baseball, and fans will watch it. You say that about basketball. They put all these basketball games on. Well, I got to watch it. It's basketball. The NFL, they got you all brainwashed. Must watch college football. Because if I don't, people think I'm less of a man, which is crap. That's why you get college football flooding the TV all over the place. Not putting college baseball on is hurting pro baseball viewership.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes, you're not going to hear the names for a few years, but you're still watching the sport. Said what I said. Tyler Reddick, this is not a rerun. Won for the 3rd week in a row. Never been done. No one's ever won the first 3 races. And who's at the car owner there? Someone who's used to 3 in a row. The GOAT.
Jackson. Michael Jordan.
Wrong Mike.
Well,
and
just imagine.
They had a great interview with him afterwards. They're walking down the track. And they go, well, you've won 3 in a row, Michael Jordan. He goes, hey, Denny Ham was doing this. Jordan goes, I just supply the money.
Oh, God.
So he's admitting that what I heard was, I don't know shit from shit on who's doing what. I'm just having fun watching the guys I'm paying for doing well.
Could you even imagine 3 straight wins? I mean, for that whole team, not the driver alone.
A guy who didn't win any last year, and he's won. No one's ever won the first 3.
Oh, that is a jackpot. That is just unbelievable.
And the 3rd race was a road course. SVG has won the last 5 road courses. He finished 2nd. So you beat the guy who's best at road courses to win your 3rd in a row. So he's just dotting the I's and crossing the T's and checking all the boxes. He's just, pinch me. It's, Yep. And you think I've been fired up so far? You've heard nothing yet.
My favorite soapbox.
Award-winning, Farm TV award-winning soapbox. We've talked about it before. Here it is. MLB Executive Director Bruce Myers, on the likelihood of a lockout when the CBA expires December 1st, he says, quote, the MLB has pretty much already said there's going to be a lockout. I would be shocked if we didn't do a lockout when the agreement expires. All right. So say we're at December 1st and we're sitting here March 2nd next year, locked out. We got no spring training. We got no World Baseball Classic. And if the WNBA doesn't do anything this year, college basketball is only going to thrive, which it's been slipping. The NBA, which has been slipping huge, will pick up a few viewers. Or would this be the time where you start showing college baseball? Would this be the time, kind of like during COVID, you go back to showing the Korean League or the Japanese League on TV?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want to say show the other world leagues, because if you got the World Baseball Classic coming up, you got the Olympics coming up. Let's really push it. Let's show Korean baseball. Let's show the Mexican League. Let's show Japan, whatever. Show someone else. And as far as we know, it could be last year's games for all we give a crap. It's baseball. We're seeing the names of who's going to come up in the Olympics, see the players. That's what we want to see. That's what you want to promote. Again, that was another one of the letters I wrote today to them.
Now, Andy, you had basically predicted this months ago.
Yep,
Uh,
it's
and
coming.
so that was on your radar, and you said, "Get ready for it." And now it's looking like that. And
We
sad.
already hit the opening day yet, and they're already calling it. So
Wow.
yeah, you're yeah. I've already. If it's December 1st next year for the lockout, I think it was January 8th is when I check into Betty Ford next year. I'm just saying, because I'm going to be a mess. If I don't know if I can handle it. North Dakota State wide receiver Bryce Lance at 26 combine results, 5th in the 40-yard dash, 2nd in the 10-yard splits, 4th in the vertical, 3rd in the broad jump. Not bad for a FCS guy.
Very good.
Will he be a first-round draft pick? Probably not. Second round, yes. I see him going second round at least. So, okay, the Sam Block. I don't know this man from the Man on the Moon. First time I've seen his name on a post today. Here, his picks. He lists 8 teams who could win the men's March Madness. And throws 3 more that would surprise me and wouldn't shock me. He has another 4. So he's got 15 teams out of the 68 he thinks would win. Well, that's why he's sticking your dick out there for it, Sam.
Yeah, that's a leap.
Here's 15 guys I think might win it. Boy, that's even if your 8 Ken win list. 8. Now your Ken list win should not be the 1 and 2 seeds. And wouldn't surprise me the 3 seeds.
Well,
the 4 seeds wouldn't shock me.
If you and I, if you and I did something like this, Andy, it'd be interesting to see because we're not big college basketball fans, but to put together a list like this, odds are it's going to be a slam dunk that one of your 15 teams will be in it. I mean, out of the 68.
I'm pretty sure I'd get 3 of the 4 Final Four teams if I just wrote down 15 teams off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Which, boy, you really know what you're talking about, Sam.
Or was he looking for clicks? Was he looking for comments there?
Probably what it was.
God. It's just.
Yeah. Now, all I did was cut and paste the picture. I didn't read more, but I did give him credit, put his name up there.
Yeah.
I could have said some moron, but obviously no chance. The field. Boy, that's really, again, sticking your neck out there on that one, Sam. Police reports.
Okay.
This isn't a current one. It's more kind of a follow-up. No, it's not Chuck Knobloch. But the new Falcons coach, LaTroy Lewis, fired after disturbing rape assault accusations. So another former Michigan coach in trouble with the law.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So he's
John Harbaugh still has a job.
Okay.
Every assistant under him is fallen left and right. It's like the mob boss is still alive, but all those little cronies under him are getting arrested for every little thing in the book.
Yes.
So, not saying John Harbaugh did crimes. I'm just saying it's kind of weird how the head coach is still good, but everybody else under him is falling, and the team was getting accused of sanction violations. So, the mighty have fallen. I said Chuck Knobloch. I did read one thing about him. He did have his legal troubles a few years ago. He is still very active on the Twitter, but he doesn't sit there and cry about his crimes or this or that. He posts about sports stuff, about his alma maters in Texas, just like any other retiree guy would. So don't follow him in Hazel. If you want to follow him, just hear some guy talk baseball and talk back and forth. Go ahead, follow Chuck Knobloch. Great. If you don't want to, great. No skin off my nose, But he's out there still doing his thing. Lots of scuttlebutt I've heard. Viking-wise, Kyler Murray may be coming here. Aaron Rodgers might be coming here. Kirk Cousins might be coming back here. Carson Wentz is assuming he's coming back. Everyone's going, do you bring in a veteran to be competition for J.J. McCarthy? If you're signing anyone for over $2 million a year, he better start over J.J. McCarthy, not just be competition. If you're going to drop that kind of cake on a big name, a Kyle Murray, whoever, Jimmy Garoppolo's name's come up. Anybody who's got starts in the NFL already, if you bring him in, he better start over McCarthy and tell him what he's doing, not sit on the sidelines and explain to him what to do. Show him what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Lead by example. And I think if the Vikings finish under 500 this year, which you can't finish 500 anymore at the amount of games. So if they finish under 500, you got to fire the head coach. I don't care what he's done these first few years. If he's supposed to be such a great quarterback whisperer, that means last year and this year they figured you out. You aren't that great anyway. Go be an offensive coordinator.
It does seem like these defensive coordinators from the opposing teams have figured out the weakness and have exploited it, especially in the playoffs and the postseason and big games, because it's McCarthy was so good those first few years, but it's like a good pitcher in baseball. Then they figure out what to look for, and then that second and third year, you're not as good because now you're hittable. But
kind of like tipping your pitches, they figured out when you line up this way, you're running one of three plays. You know,
they must have got him tipping the lineup or something, because now it's exposed and the rest of the league knows it. And so, you know, and maybe, which I've heard also, is you can take yourself off from calling the plays and have the offensive coordinator call the offensive plays. Because right now McCarthy's calling the plays, right? As the head coach. He doesn't need to do that, but now it's going to be an ego hit to give that up. Because now you have the ego to be the head coach and you're calling the plays. And some say he should have been given that up a year or two ago anyway. So
I don't like head coaches that do that to it. That's kind of brings me back to the late 80s, early 90s. When football, you had the head coach. He was the head coach and the GM. So you were your own boss.
Yeah.
Well, of course you got all the power then. What kind of head trip is that?
But calling the plays, it's very interesting. So now, did you cover high school wrestling already?
No, I was going to save that for you. I know you had you were down there visiting.
Here we go. A slide. Now, the slide. Here we go. What we did here during the wrestling state tournament is there was a lot of scuttlebutt of how good Section 2AA was here in the section, one of the tougher sections in the state of Minnesota. And, you know, there's three classes, AAA, AA, and single A. And there's 8 sections in each class. This is just taking Section 2 out of the 8 sections and just focusing on the 13 weights and the 2 individual wrestlers that got sent to state. And, you know, we thought, looking at it on paper, there could have been 6, 7, or 8 state champions coming out of this section with the number of players ranked number 1. The answer, if anyone did predict, was the guys in yellow, the 4 state champions out of section, a lot less than the 6, 7, or 8 that we thought. But there was one up at 114, Keeker from Orono, ranked first, ended up getting a medical injury default. Didn't really lose those last 2 matches, but had injury forfeit default. So that was unexpected because he was ranked 1 in the state, ended up 6th, but that wasn't because of an injury. But boy, the Frederick brothers came through, the twins. Meade, which means Watertown Mayor Lutheran, 3 for 3, sending 3 individuals to state and outright winning the state with all 3.
3 out of 5, yeah.
I mean, to win the state. That's a lot of titles there with the 5 that they sent. Now, the other is Cooper Row, Mound West Tonka, really good there at 160. So we came home with 4 first place champions. Now, I listed on the far right
and a handful of fourths. That's not bad.
A bunch of seconds, third, fourths, fifth, and sixth. If you're in the top 6, you're on the podium, which is a huge thing. So what I put on the post was 14 of the 26 wrestlers were on the podium coming out of Section 2 AA. Hats off. Congratulations to all.
Over half.
Very good performance there. Not what we expected as far as winning. There were some upsets, and there was some very strange things there as well. I saw one is, at 145 out of Tri-United is Tucker Sklizacek. Ended up getting 5th place, but one of his losses, he gets pinned in 19 seconds, Andy, at the state.
Wow.
Ranked 4th in the state. I had to look at it twice and refresh the screen on the state tournament. I don't know what happened, but 19 seconds in, he gets pinned, which must have been a shocker to all because he didn't even get a chance to work up a sweat. Now he's fighting back in the consolation bracket. But that's what you see at state, a lot of wild finishes like that. Now, the two Fredericks brothers, the twins, on their first couple of rounds, Andy, I didn't tell you, but they won by Tech Falls in the first period.
Mm-hmm.
First period. And the periods are only 2 minutes long. So I don't know if they each had a running bet against each other to see who'd have the quickest one.
Right.
And the next round, I think they won by a tech fall or a pin in the second period. And then by the time it went on, they went longer matches. But they put out some incredible statistics on those numbers. But
I saw the one that was in the finals or semifinals had the cotton swab in the nose already. So
okay.
So they went from a first round tech to a bleeding nose. So
Yes. So a lot of interesting stuff there. But that was a graphic that I did. I've never done that before during the tournament. Some people on our page liked to see that, but it's just a snapshot of just our section, basically our neighborhood following here. But interesting
and if
stuff.
you're a
Hats off to those guys.
high school wrestling fan, we posted the site on our social media site. Titan and Joel, Mike Max did a thing on them on Channel 4 on Friday night. We have the link on our site if you want to go back and watch that again. Very nice.
We pushed that out there. A very good expose kind of on the Fredericks brothers, their dad, their uncle.
Mike Max talked to him, but we had the boys on like 2.5 years ago once already. So
we have interviewed
Mike Max,
them.
riding our coattails. Go ahead, Maxie, whatever.
Well, they're both going to the Gophers next year, and look for those guys. I think they're going to be immediate starters on the Gophers wrestling team. I mean, that is something.
They call them in the lower weight classes, the midweight classes, so you're not the big heavyweights where all the tension is. But as you see in team, if you don't win those lower weights, you're not going to win overall. You got to win all. You got to do good on all of them, and
so that'll be interesting. And we'll keep following also the top. What I do is follow the top 5 area guys in the college D1 ranks. And so we'll update those, especially here during the weekend. For college wrestling, it's all the conference finals, conference championships for the individuals this weekend.
And then we're coming out late today with all the seedings. I don't know if I got them all on social media or not, but if you go to the Big Ten site, now you'll see where all of our local guys all set on there for the rankings.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch that. We'll keep all the listeners up to date on that. I think that's all. Should we get into the trivia answer, Andy?
Just one more reminder. Boys hockey this weekend. It's supposed to be nice weather. That means the girls are going to get nailed next weekend.
Yeah, we've got – so you've already covered it, I think, earlier, but you got the boys hockey, girls basketball, and boys basketball. 3 weekends left in March for March Madness. And one of them, we're going to get hit with the winter storm, but always nature of the beast.
That's right.
Is the question.
All right, trivia answer.
Trivia, what happened on this day in NBA basketball? It involves Wilt Chamberlain, everybody.
Well, wait, now we don't do those kind of shows anymore. We know what Wilt did in his free time.
Well, this was something quite spectacular on the court.
Really? Got that? Oh, actually on the court, okay.
On the court. Wilt still put up, and you know what I like about these trivia questions, I didn't know this coming in to this episode. He scored 100 points in an NBA game. Here we go. Wilt Still, in 1962, scored 100 points himself in one NBA basketball game. So Warriors go on to win 169 to 147 over the Knicks. He was 36 of 63 from the field. I'll just stop there. Just think of that, Andy.
Yeah.
He made 28 free throws.
Okay, look how big the man was, and he still missed, 27 shots from underneath.
I just can't imagine how many players in the NBA have ever in their lifetime even scored 28 points in a game. And in this game, he scored 28 just from the free throw line.
Now,
Andy, give us the listeners what happened at the end of this conclusion of this ball game.
Well, it never really ended. There was 28 seconds, I think, left or something like that when he scored the 100th point. They all stormed the court, and they just called the game.
They couldn't. They couldn't.
Everybody stormed the court, and stats were so great back then. I wish I could have saw the picture. I just thought of it like a few minutes ago. He's got a piece of notebook paper. Someone ripped out the notebook, like the old spiral notebooks he had, ripped it out, took a marker, wrote 100 on it. He's holding a sign that says 100. Not fancy graphics, 100.
1962.
The game was never technically finished. I know a lot of Knicks fans are still protesting this game's forfeit. they should win by forfeit because they're Knicks fans. They like to bitch to hear the sound of their own voice. But Wilt Chamberlain,
Yeah, so he was in and playing.
Some guys have an 80. I think Kobe had an 81. Some other guys dabbled 70s a few times. This is the one stat I don't think you'll ever see him touch. Because of some of the egos in the game, I know a lot of guys have tried.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't happened. Now, yes, you get the guy with the hot hand and he'll get 50 or 60 in a game. He just had the hot hand, let him run. I don't think you could purposely say, all right, player X, you're getting 100 tonight. That ain't happening. You look at a lot of NBA games, they don't get 100 as a team.
Yeah.
So to have a guy go out for 100, bet the farm and all the animals, that'll never happen again. Unless they add a 4 and 5 point line and make the other 3 inside closer, but still.
And it's not like they had a big, huge lead. They pulled him out. He sat the bench for the end of the game. I mean, they only won by, 22 points there. So he was in the entire game.
Yeah.
They come down to less than a minute. He's sitting at 98 points. The fans are just ready to burst onto the scene to celebrate 100 points. He drains it. They rush the court. There's 18 or whatever seconds left.
Yes.
They umps, the refs call the game. It never actually finished. So the melee ensued, but I did not know this before my time. But boy, I was trying to get my head around this today. 100 points, NBA game. Wilt the still.
And there is other sport comparing them with that too. I mean, 100 points in basketball, you can't compare what would that be in baseball? Nothing. You can't. 6 home runs in a game, maybe. I don't know. I guess in baseball, it'd be the perfect game. We'd be able to kind of compare the excitement to it to end it,
It would be like hitting 6 grand slams in a game for one single batter. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, because it's like I said, it's a stat that'll never be touched.
All right, that's all I've got for today. Feel free to leave comments below, and we'll see you next week.
Happy
So long.